Currently lying in third place. They were fourth in the championships last year, but very strong medal contenders this year. This is Marina Anissina and Gwendal Peizerat from France.
Really improved this year, very sharp movements. Good flow over the ice and an ease to get that speed. A great deal of technical difficulty, going for more ice coverage and speed.
Wow, a lot of energy in there. Well, it certainly was very fast across the ice. That's Marina Anissina and Gwendal Peizerat from France.
Yeah, and again, well presented. They had a good highlight where her leg was on his shoulder. The rules say you can't push the girl along with the boot or the leg, so they were just pushing the rules a tiny bit. You've got to do that. But there were times in that where they were just doing forward crosses to build speed round the corner, and lots of twizzles by Marina, but not so much intricacy of changing the holds. So I think they might have left the door open for Sophie and Pascal to push above them on this part of the competition.
There really is a battle between the French couples, Sophie and Pascal, fighting back from injury. They didn't compete at all last year, and these two have really seized their opportunity and now are the #1 French couple.
And you see that relationship between the couple when you look at each other and you have to put over the passion. So it's part looking out to the audience, part looking at the couple. The relationship between you, the judges pick up on that. And they're very good. There's a great shot.
Well, she really is expressive. She's a former junior world champion for Russia back in 1990 and 92. She competed with Ilia Averbukh. But now hasn't looked back since partnering up with Gwendal Peizerat. So they're their marks. Well, remember, they're in third place at the moment, and you may well be right, Nicky. Certainly the first set of marks are not that high, are they?
No. I mean, there's still, well, there'll be 3 above them, but they've left enough room. And the judges, of course, would need to be doing that.
So comfortably first at the moment, but still the big guns to go. So now, fighting back from injury, lying just behind Marina Anissina and Gwendal Peizerat. Here they are, a lot of support for these two. They're certainly the people's favorite over here in Paris. This is Sophie Moniotte and Pascal Lavanchy, and a good opportunity now to compare the French couples back to back. Well, that's what the crowd think, 6-0, and that's before they've skated.
I wish I had a ponytail like that. Now, the guys used to skate in a jacket and trousers like this way back. So it's going back in time style-wise. And as ever, she looks just gorgeous. Little flick. Little stumble there. And that could cost them dear. Pascal just catching his toe.
Great. Well, that was superb. Now, just comparing those two performances, for me, I thought this was better. There wasn't the repetition in this performance. Sophie Moniotte and Pascal Lavanchy back to fitness and back on top form.
And they put a lot of innovation in that. For me, there was more depth of feeling and the tango coming through it. There were times when they could have put a little bit more technical content in, that's for sure. But they generated some excellent speed for some of the highlights. Nice little flick here and there. Very interesting pattern. Doing a loop, pushing back on the pattern, you're allowed to do that. They're going to change the rules so it becomes 2 sequences next year, a repeat of the first sequence again. So that's going to change for the skaters, but for now they're allowed to have a lot of innovation. And I think for me overall, I would have that ahead of Marina and Gwendal.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's definitely my instinct. Says I much preferred that. Thought it was super. These two, remember, won the silver medal back in '95. Didn't compete at all last year. Put her down. I don't know. They've skated at Skate America and the Nations Cup, where they won the bronze medal this season, and won gold in the NHK Trophy.
And what about the fashion stakes, Chris? What do you think of the jacket? And do you think it looks cool?
Yeah, I think the costumes. I think the costumes really do suit the style and the dance they're trying to portray.
Well, they've got it 5-4. It's the bottom line that counts.
Well, that really is great, and a very, very popular decision, I can tell you, here in the Palais d'Omnisport. Beaming smiles from Sophie Moniotte and Pascal Lavanchy. They move up a place in front of their teammates, Marina, Anissina and Gwendal Peizerat. Well, that's great to see them fight back after injury.
Irina, Lobacheva, Ilia,
So now to the couple lying just behind the two French couples in 5th place. It was 5th that they finished in last year. This is Irina Lobacheva and Ilia Averbukh from Russia.
nice start. Effective diagonal sequence that. They're taking the routine of having a swooping routine, of swooping kind of movements. It's a little soft for me for an overall tango. Lost it.
Well, a completely different approach to this original dance from Lobacheva and Averbukh. They're adopting the Argentine tango, and in complete contrast to the two French couples.
I mean, she's great on the fashion stakes. I'm not sure I quite like his waistcoat. But great skating, a lovely flow to it, soft ankles and knee bend, a lot of power. But there wasn't enough of a tango in that for me. It didn't characterize the tango dance throughout. It was almost like a waltz in places, the swooping of the edges and the nice, graceful movements. Well, that's super, providing in between that there's a little bit of staccato and a little bit of capturing that mood, and it didn't come across enough for me. So I was thinking there should be something more in here. And also the changes of hold. A lot of the time they were in dance hold and they stayed in that. And when they did do a change of hold, they had a little bit of a stutter, a little bit of a problem. So, you know, it's good expression, but I thought they could have captured more of the tango feel.
Yes, I have to agree with you. I feel the staccato movements were certainly missing. They're both good quality skaters in their own right, and good use of the knee bend was evident throughout the dance, but not capturing that tango feel.
The best bit was when they kind of lined up across the rink and did a diagonal, because that is, you know, in ballroom tango, you stop and do a little bit of a straight line, but there was a mix. It wasn't really enough ballroom or enough Argentine, not quite sharp enough, but I think the quality will get them the good marks.
Well, certainly currently ranked third. Remember, the big guns still to go. Krylova, Ovsyannikov, Grishuk-Platov, they go in the last group. So every judge has them down in third place. Remember, they finished fifth in these championships last year, lying in fifth place at the moment. Lying in second place, silver medalists in last year's championship as well, but winners in Skate America, the Nations Cup, and the Cup of Russia. So in great form this season, even sporting a hat for the occasion. This is Anjelika Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov for Russia. Well, we were just reaching for the rule book there.
Clever. There is a rule that says inappropriate clothing, you have 0.1 or 0.2 taken off. So he puts the hat on, everybody goes, oh, is he going to push it here? Do we have to make deductions or not? And he takes it off. Great showmanship. captures my attention. He is one of the best male ice dancers in the world, and it's because of the sharpness, the way he can move and stop. It's great power and expression, but he is so sharp in the movements.
What about that? Well, the pressure is on, and they're the masters, Natalia Linarchuk and Gennady Karponosov, their coaches. Fantastic stuff. Anjelika, Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov throw down the gauntlets.
And when you see a dance couple, be it on ice or off ice, often if the man is very strong, then the couple look very strong. Sometimes it's the lady that can dominate it, but in this case, it's definitely the man. He is something special out there, and lots of detail in that routine. I love the thing about the hat. There could have been more difficulty in terms of the Choctaws and the Mohawks within it, but it was the detail and the putting over of the passion of the piece. Yeah, it's excellent skating. They cover so much ice with very few steps as well, really moving and swooping in and out. And you don't realize how fast they're going until you see the overall picture on the ice. Great ice coverage.
That's right, the television doesn't really do these two justice, does it? You can see the intricacy, but the speed across the ice is exceptional.
I mean, they do 2 steps and they've gone, you know, across half the end of the rink, dead easy.
Oleg, Ovsyannikov, première note.
Beautiful expression, as always. Well, there really is a bit of conflict between the two Russian couples now, Oksana Grishuk and Evgeni Platov, who go a little bit later. They've moved coaches, now working with Tatiana Tarasova, formerly, of course, with Linarchuk and Karponosov, but they've moved because they felt that they weren't getting enough attention. Now, these two certainly looking stronger this year, and it's first place for them at the moment, rightly so.
I think it's going to be a real tight battle for first here.
The judges have certainly left some room, haven't they?
They have indeed, and I think the battle will go to Worlds as well. It'll be between the two events.
Well, a good day's work from Krylova and Ovsyannikov. So now to the reigning world and European champions. In the lead going into this original dance, this is, of course, Oksana Grishuk and Evgeni Platov from Russia. A new coach this season, and a new look for Oksana as well. That was fabulous. Supposed to be in Killian hold, and they were almost in Killian hold. That's side by side with the arm across the man's chest.
They almost... Well, it was very close to that for a while there. Could be a deduction.
Wow. As electric as ever. Oksana Grishuk and Evgeni Platov. Now, he's been fighting with a knee injury, couldn't compete in the national championships, but in top form here in Paris.
And that one of the best original dances I've seen them done. The highlight was that bit in the choreography in the middle with the turn and going into it and out with the nuance. It was fantastic. Great ice coverage. And lovely edges. And they didn't know until 2 days before this event that they were coming here. So to skate like that is just brilliant. But I just wonder whether it's quite enough, because there's something about the costumes, the overall presentation, just to me, it isn't quite as strong as it was for Anjelika and Oleg. And I think there's a chance for one or two of the judges to maybe be saying, first, second here.
Come on, I'll put you on the line. Are they going to stay ahead of Krylova and Ovsyannikov?
I think they'll stay ahead at this stage in the competition, but I think it's becoming closer and closer. Great expression.
It really is theatrical, isn't it? And that they're really living every part of the music.
And it's tremendous quality in the skating.
Well, there's quite a story. He was saying that they didn't know until a couple of days ago that they were actually going to be able to compete. And there are rumors that they put a lot of pressure on the association, because the Russian Federation was saying because they didn't compete in the national championships, they wouldn't get a place here at the Europeans. And rumor has it that they threatened to compete for the Ukraine.
Well, I think if you've got a European champion and they want to go and skate, it's good to let them go and do it. No?
Wow, look at that. Well, the judges are going along with that performance. They thought it was fabulous. And I have to say, I thought it was good too. 3 5.9s, the rest 6s for presentation. All 5.9s for the first set of marks. Comfortably the leaders. Goodness me.
And that's a big message going into the free dance. I didn't expect that. I thought it would be much closer.
There's classification of the final results of the original dance. Remember, the free dance still to go. Grishuk and Platov lead, Krylova and Ovsyannikov in second place. Then the two French couples swap places. Moniotte, Lavanchy in third, Anissina and Peizerat in fourth place. And that's the situation further down. The Czechs dropping a couple of places down into 10th place. And they're the British couple in 14th. Marika Humphreys